Selamat welcome everyone to another episode of Flesh and News. This week we're going to discuss a bit of Armory decks, special alt arts for heroes, and impactful reprints coming to Flesh and Blood. So let's get right into it. First off is a new Armory deck has been spoiled, and it's for -IO. It's gonna be planned to release on October, so after Rosetta release. This is for all of you mech enjoyers. So far, we've had Armory Deck KO for Brute Nation, Armory Deck Bolton for the warriors out there, and Armory Deck Azalea for those of you who want to play at a distance. But now, they're bringing Armory Deck -IO, which is a mechanologist hero. And with it, as with previous Armory decks, not only will it be good for new players, it will have new cards that can only be found in the Armory decks, which are very, very good. We've been spoiled by two of those, and we're going to discuss a little bit of it. Okay, first off is called Heavy Industry Surveillance, which is a mechanologist equipment for the headpiece. It says one block, but it's kind of disingenuous because it has the ability, when this defends, you can banish the top card of your deck. If it's a mechanologist card, it gets +1 defense until end of turn. So basically, and it has temper. So basically, this is a 3-block headpiece for mechs, which so far they have not had access to a 3-block headpiece. So for Dash, this is a really good upgrade if you want to survive the brutal aggro onslaught that Zen's putting out. A 3-block headpiece gets you there. And for Max, this is a bit of an upgrade compared to Hyper X. Unless you're putting Hyper Drivers in your deck, you won't be able to access the second mode of drawing a card if you have three hyperdrivers under it. So this might just be a better headpiece because it blocks for more. It blocks for 2 more compared to Hyper X. So that's for the equipment. And for the attack card, it's called Fast and Furious, featuring -IO herself on the art, which is really gorgeous. And it's a 0-cost red with boost with 3 attack and 3 block. But if you've cranked this turn, this gets +1. And additionally, so it's not only an extra red 0 to 60 if you've cranked, it's also when this is banished from boostings, you may put a steam counter on an item you control with crank. So it functions as well like your what's it called, Big Bertha and your steam cranky thingy that you use in your max deck. So although this is an Armory deck -IO deck, it might still be very enticing to pick up if you're planning to play max the Hype Nitro as well. So those are the 2 cards that we got so far from Armory deck -IO. But looking at previous Armory decks, we're going to look at least 3 to 4 more new cards that'll be going to be very, very impactful for the deck overall, be it in equipment pieces or actual play pieces in the deck itself. That's it for Armory decks. Let's move on to the next topic, is alternate art new. So Enigma has gotten the alternate art treatment right from the get-go, which you can get from the booster packs if you're cracking open the misfill Japanese booster boxes. But New and Zen hasn't gotten this treatment so far, but we've gotten spoiled at Battle Hardened Osaka that there's a big ass card with an alternate art new, and it has the code HER128 and the promo symbol, which means it's gonna be a real card. This is not just like some fan art that some people made to like, okay, this is good for decorating. This will be released some way or someday. And the shop owner, Giraful, spoiled that. Just wait for Osaka to roll around, which is not Battle Hard in Osaka, but probably the World Championships at Osaka later this year. So if you're going to the World Champs and or if you're not going there but you really want this gorgeous new art, keep an eye out and see how you can obtain this card, and maybe PM some people who are going there to get this card for you, because the art's just gorgeous. So we've gotten Enigma and new alt arts. Let's see if they're gonna provide us with a Zen alt art before he LLs. Moving on to the next topic is archive packs, which is a major reprint set. So in the US and other English speaking countries, we have History Pack 1. We haven't had History Pack 2 yet, but History Pack 1, for those of you who are unaware, is basically a set that's dedicated to printing reprints. So basically no new cards, all previous cards, obviously no foils, and the history packs were in white border. It's to improve accessibility to the game, because with a lot of new players coming into the game, you of course need staples. Generic staples and class staples, which might be in booster boxes either too old or out of print or no longer can be easily purchased on the market right now. So them putting out reprints, of course they're non-foil, so for those of you who already have the cards in foil, that's a thing that you'll have over these reprints. But for accessibility standpoint, reprints are a great way to ensure that new players are able to join the game and be able to buy the cards they need. Because sometimes I've heard complaints that, well, I've got the money, I'm willing to pay for it, but there's just no one selling it currently, especially in countries that are not as big as the US as for Flesh and Blood specifically. If for countries like, if the national numbers is under 100, it might be an issue to obtain cards if there are no reprint sets. With History Pack 1 and then the History Pack Black Border, especially for foreign sets, that's in German, French, and Italian. Now, for Japan, since they're a new region, they got their own reprint sets, but instead of encompassing all previous sets that are just way too many cards to obtain, they've put it into multiple little sets that work well with the heroes that are in the set, which I feel like is a very, very good move. So if you're going for the Themyscira heroes, if you're like playing Zen or New, well, in the Themyscira archive packs, you can find Codex of Frailty, which are really, really expensive right now, or Tiger Stripe Shuko and Tunic. So basically, the reprints that you will find in these archive packs are guaranteed to like help or work well with the heroes that you find in that set. So if you're picking up a hero from Themyscira, cracking archive packs Themyscira is right for you. And coming up after that, they're gonna have archive pack Rosetta, and we can see the reprints there is Grasp of the Arknight, Storm Striders, and CNC. So other than very specific like Storm Striders, because they have Wizards in the Rosetta, right, and Grasp for Rune Blades, you also have generic goodies. Like you can find Tunic in the Themyscira archive packs and CNC and the Rosetta archive packs. So so far these are Japan exclusives. We are not sure whether Indonesia will be able to obtain these archive packs, but I'm really, really hoping that we do, because assuming we get a huge influx of new players with the new distributor, OGRE, and hopefully they are going to bring in tons of new players, well, those new players are going to need reprints. And well, you can either grab this, which are tailored specifically for these sets and easier to crack compared to history packs, or you can just supply previous sets back here, but you might run the risk of people are not willing to crack those packs, or like they might crack open a lot of boxes but just not find what they want, or find stuff that don't really fit the hero that they want to play. Because history pack encompasses like almost all of the classes, so it's kind of hard to like, oh, I want this. You can't just open one box and expect to get something that's going to be useful for your hero. Meanwhile, if you're cracking open specifically archive packs, even though sadly they're in Japanese because they're intended for the Japan audience, I feel like the current Indonesian market, especially for TCG players, they're used to handling different language cards, and Flesh and Blood, you can mix languages, you can have a multi-language deck, and it won't be an issue. You don't have to have a full Japanese deck, or a full English deck, or a full French deck. You can have a mix of all the languages as long as they're legal and official Flesh and Blood cards. So here's hoping that these archive packs can find a way to make it here to Indonesia to help not only newer players that are coming, but also some existing players that are still struggling to like find these staples because they're just not available in the market. Like everyone just already either owns a playset, and not anymore, they've already sold it to the newer-ish players, and now the newer-ish players need to find them like from abroad or pre-order them through a Wrath Merchants Guild. So if you're a player that needs cards, the current way to do it without these reprints hitting the stores yet is go hit up Wrath Merchants Guild and ask them about the pre-order in the large WhatsApp group for Flesh and Blood Indonesia, or go to their Tokopedia and chat them there and ask them about their pre-orders. I've done that a couple of times myself. The cards are reasonably priced and very good condition, and they arrive very, very fast, considering they're coming from abroad. So yeah, hopefully these reprints will be very, very helpful for the influx of new players. I myself am still looking for a couple of CNCs. I don't care if they're in Japanese or white bordered or like yellow bordered. I don't care. I just need some CNCs for my deck. And lastly, we have spoiler schedules. So we've been drip fed the past like 2-3 weeks. We've barely had any cards spoilered to us. Like I've basically had to do the Flesh and News as a weekly thing because there's just not many cards being spoiled, not many new stuff to cover for the upcoming Rosetta, because they're saving most of it up for Tampa Bay. But since we're nearing that date of August 6th to 7th, September 6th to 7th, they're actually going to put out a lot of more spoilers through our favorite content creators such as Mansant, Card Guys, 3 Floating, Breezy. So, and keep an eye out for these dates. They're going to have cards most likely going to be very specific to what they do. If they're very niche, like Mansant, our beloved Levia player, probably a card that's centered around either Brute or Shadow. And yeah, just keep an eye out because the spoilers are going to be coming fast. And not only from our favorite content creators, a spoiler will be coming to us this weekend during the Battle Hardened San Diego. It's going to be happening August 24th to 25th. Well, right now it's 24th for us, but it's not yet August 24th in San Diego because we're 12 hours ahead. So it's going to be like at night or tomorrow morning for us when Battle Hardened San Diego will actually be playing out. Don't watch it only for the spoilers, but also watch it for the gritty and really competitive Flesh and Blood gameplay, because this is the last leg of the Part the Mistveil meta, and we're going to be entering the Rosetta meta very, very soon. That's it for this week's Flesh and News coverage. As always, if you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. That is the best free way you can support me putting out more Flesh and Blood content directly to your YouTube video feed. And as always, it's me, Mas Bule Main, and sampai goodbye!